dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome everybody in to Sim Racing Media tonight. The drivers of the Boughton Enterprises LLC ECR NextGen Cup Series hit the high banks of Daytona for the Black Bear Pizza 17th annual ECR Daytona 300 live here on SRM. I'm Mike Timoni up in the booth. Joined with me is Colin McDonough. Colin, man, how's it going, man?
It's going great. It's a nice sunshiny day in Daytona. I'm looking forward to what these drivers can put on.
Yeah, definitely. We had a little preview of it last week as the drivers came down here for the Clash. Had a little hiccup in the setup and came to Daytona instead. put on a heck of a race. They went 60 laps. Doug Denise decided to get it done early in the season, so we'll see how that's going to propel him in this race here. It is another 60 laps, so 120 laps total tonight as these guys get set. Tristan Bailey looks to make his title defense, starting off strong here in Daytona. We'll see what other drivers who have joined in this league can do. We have several different drivers, few new teams, and a lot of action here in the ECR NextGen Cup Series. But they are just about wrapped up with qualifying. Looks like we're going to have a field of 33 drivers. So, heck of a field here for this Valentine's night as these guys get ready to roll off. Go ahead and bring up the race.
Looks like Ryan McCall may have missed qualifying. He just went out on track, and I think quality's going to be up in about 20 seconds here.
Yeah, 50 seconds a lap. I don't think he's going to get it in. But with that being said, like I said, the race distance is 120 miles, 120 laps, 300 miles, 80% fuel. Fuel window, give or take. One fast repair, 5 sets of tires here tonight. So these guys are going to get set to roll. Yeah, he did not make it. Qualifying is over. Then let these drivers jump in for the start here as they get set to grid up. One thing, this is a night race, so take a quick look here at the weather. 84 degrees, air temp, track temp 84 as well. Definitely clear. Something we can't say about Daytona for tomorrow as they moved up that race time about an hour or so, so we'll see what happens. And they are, like, we're waiting on a couple drivers yet. It looks like John Osborne. Maybe.
Yeah, John Osborne, your pole sitter, with a time of 50.074.
John Osborne, they're going to start on the front row. Also just to his outside, Derek Fulton, he's going to be on the timing and scoring as the 12, but we'll show as the 2 on track, going to start on the outside of row 1. Guys get that to go. They are rolling off, so we are going to go on down and go through the grid real quick. Row 1, John Osborne and Derek Fulton. Row 2, Aaron Spear with Michael Carter. Tristan Bailey, defending champ, going to come out of row 3 with Doug Denise right to his outside. Kane Lee and Brian King going to roll off in row 4. Starting P9 is Alan Boughton with Tyler Burden just to his outside. Dwayne Furtick and Tim Hammond make up row number 6. Row 7, Gary Nash and Kent Mueller. Anthony Ludi and Jonathan Dominiques are going to roll off in row number 8. Stan Carnathan and Aaron Miller make up 17th and 18th. Jordan Fisher and Alan Holtzman going to start in row number 10. Christopher Howell and Michael York make up row 11. Row 12, Pete Walsh and Evan Marlowe. Row 13, Christopher Roth and Jamie Lee Dunning. Douglas King and Chris Evans make up row number 14. Row 15, Grant Applegate and Evan Stewart. Randy Meeks and Ryan McCall are going to start shotgun on the field in row number 16. Oh, and Ethan Brooks, like he didn't put down a qualifying time as well, so he's going to start in a row all by his lonesome out there. But with that being said, we are set to go here as that pace car gets ready to make that left-hand turn and come down pit lane. Driver's going to take one more chance, tighten those belts, get set to go here as the ECR season gets kicked off from Daytona. Inside line of John Osborne and Derek Fulton. Inside line of John Osborne and Aaron Spear are hooked up. Tristan Bailey also making his way down there. Derek Fulton not able to get hooked up as you see a few hoppers from the outside going down to the inside as they're coming down the back stretch, but that outside line is starting to move towards the front. Michael Carter with a big push there to the number 2 of Derek Fulton.
Like that top lane is not quite as organized further back, but the bottom row is certainly getting lined up real nice.
Yeah, that bottom lane seems to be where everybody wants to be. You saw several drivers go from the top side down to the bottom side and make a couple positions relatively quickly. And looking at it, about halfway back here, there's some spots, and we'll see if anybody else decides to go from the high line down to the bottom and get this line single filed out. We saw it work quite well last time we were here for the duels as they were, for the clash, as they were kind of working together there. Several drivers made their way to the front, to the back, and then back up to the front as the race went on. We're only 2 laps in here, and that inside lane is starting to kind of pull away just a little bit here.
Yeah, Mike, early on, like we talked about last week, trying to link up with your friends, your teammates, whoever it may be, this early in the race is pretty important. I'm sure a lot of drivers are talking, already talking fuel strategy and what lap they're planning on pitting if we see a green flag run. It's always good to have a strategy for the pit window.
Yeah, that is one thing you do not want to do. You don't want to come down by yourself. That will pretty much spell disaster for you as you're coming out of the pits. They will just blow right by you. They're kind of jumping in and out once again. Osborne, Spear, Bailey moving to the front. Looks like Kane Lee also was able to get out there. Brian King down on the bottom. Saw Adam Boughton jump to the high side right in front of Fulton. Going to try and bring that outside lane back towards the front here. I think those first 3 drivers there in that outside lane were fairly well hooked up as you see the inside lane start to drift apart just a little bit.
Yeah, I almost wonder if they're just, biding their time, not really trying to push up to the front, but just hanging out and saving fuel, perhaps.
And that outside lane is up to second. See if they can get the lead here as they come down the backstretch. See that big push here coming from the 96 onto the 11. About even as they come through 3 and 4. As they come to the line, I think Adam Boughton got that lead there. Now Fulton up to second. Osborne trying to hang on here. Boughton goes down to the inside, going to jump in front of Osborne, see if he can kind of play both lines and defend those runs. Outside lane starting to fall back now.
I did wonder if we'd see Adam Boughton drop down, and certainly made that call.
Well, the outside line didn't lose too much ground. They went back a couple spots, but now they are moving back towards the front. Boughton going inside, outside, trying to play the Pied Piper on the front end here.
Seems like the decision at the tail end of the field was to single file out.
Now let's go back and look kind of through the field. Looks like up through about 20th there, they're side by side, but after that they kind of slowed down and single filed out, logging some laps here. Osborne got a run there. And now Fulton ducks down to the inside, going to leave Adam Boughton up on the high side. Fulton going to push his way towards the front, see if he's going to be able to lead this lap. Osborne hasn't closed in yet. Michael Carter right on the rear bumper there of Boughton. Going to probably give him a shove as they come down the backstretch. Boughton out in front once again.
Yeah, Boughton's doing a great job up front, just taking the bumps.
Yeah, definitely playing both lines, trying to see where the run's going to come from. Jump up just with enough time to get a little push there as they work their way here through lap number 8. Looks like you have 91 at Kane Lee jump down to the inside. Tim Hammond staying up on the high side.
Fulton just can't quite get there. Not quite enough help from behind.
Now he's staying out there. That inside lane gets a pretty big push and then just has nothing going on. Back behind him, though, they're 3 wide. Dominic's stuck in the middle with nowhere really to go. Out on the high line. Looks like that is going to be Brian King out there, if I'm not mistaken. Brian King's out there working on the high line. Now he's stuck all by himself.
He's going to be looking for a spot to slot in.
And there's plenty of room as he got down there, but it's got to be a little concerning when you're up there on the high line and then all of the help behind you just disappears. Derek Fulton
Yeah, when
to
you've
the
only
lead.
got... Ooh. Looked like a defensive move that did not play out.
Yeah, that did not play out well for Osborne. Osborne got pushed to the middle, and he has faded back. Now he is running P7 after running top 2 most of the race. Boughton and Carter on the high line, going to push their way to the front. Fulton back to third, first on the inside. Little shake up towards the back here, because it looks like Dominic's got stuck in the middle once again.
One.
York, Stewart, maybe Holtzman involved too. I just saw York start to go around. Oh, a little check up there.
It was a huge wreck early on.
Kane Lee looks like he checked up. Dominic's checked up. And that set everybody almost 4 wide there. York kind of got stuck there. The 1 of Christopher Howe. Evan Stewart also involved. Ethan Brooks also involved.
Meeks involved, Aaron Miller involved.
It looks like this is towards the back after it kind of was happening. Oh, 0 of Chris Evans almost stopped right in front of Evan Stewart, and Stewart just had of Ethan Brooks, and he just had nowhere to go. Upside down. Brooks has a black flag, but he is still on track. Like he's going to make his way to pit lane. Christopher Howell already in. Evan Stewart in as well. Stan Carnathan also in. 29 there. Let's see if we can take a look, see what happened with Stan Carnathan on board here.
Oh.
Stan Carnathan just nowhere to go.
Like these super speedway races, sometimes you think you're okay, sometimes you think you're in the clear. Car shoots up from the bottom.
Yep, exactly. Which is weird because sometimes you're up on the high side and everything just kind of drifts down towards the bottom. And then all of a sudden that one car just slides right back up in front of you. What I'm reading right, looks like Kent Mueller didn't stop in his pit box.
It happens.
So he's leading the race right now, but I'm sure he's going to be coming down to pit lane, if I'm not mistaken. Tristan Bailey would then take over the lead with Derek Fulton. Gonna jump probably, I'm gonna say Bailey's gonna take the inside, gonna put Fulton to the outside. Not a good day already for Aeons Motorsports. We're back in 14th. York and Carnathan done. We're almost done.
Carnathan rolling off a pit road right now. Evan Stewart still in the pit box. Maybe trying to save those fast repairs for a big one later on.
Yeah, I mean, if you can work, basically pit farm your car back to drivable, and save that fast repair for later on in the race because it's Daytona and something's going to happen. But it looks like Hal called it a day, so I'm not sure if he just didn't check that box and basically they were telling him he was done.
Yeah, it's certainly something with iRacing that'll catch you out. Is if you roll down pit road and you don't have your fast repair checked, you can't then just check it back on. Sometimes you have to exit and re-enter the session in order for that to happen.
Yeah, looks like he's still sitting there with a black flag. So only driver not on track now is going to be Christopher Howell. Everybody else is back on track and ready to race. Pace car makes that left-hand turn. Bailey with the button as he works that outside lane. And we are green flag racing here once again in the ECR Daytona 300. Bailey with a huge jump. He needs every bit of it to slide down in front of Derek Fulton as he was left high and dry. Nobody went with him on that high lane.
Yeah, it's the big drawback of getting a really good start here. If the car's behind, you can't get going in time, you start falling back like a rock.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw the four in line behind Fulton jump to the outside. Osborne, Furtick, and that is going to be Brian King also out there. All of them went to that outside lane, and they are making it work as Osborne now takes the lead. See if once they get clear, if they're going to slide down in front of Tristan Bailey. Brian King is almost clear. Not quite there as they battle back through the tri-oval. Allegiant Racing, or Allegiant Inc. Racing is the new team that jumped on board, kind of split up Southern Alliance Racing, and they are putting it to work as the two drivers in the outside lane are members of that, and also Brian King, also a member, as they are working together.
Always important to link up with those teammates.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 5 for Allegiant Inc. Racing.
Michael York goes purple, sitting in P25 at the moment.
Well, that is one thing that you notice at super speedways. The fastest guy on the track is not up front. It's usually
always somebody in the back.
Yeah, because you get that little bit of draft, and it just drags you right along, and you put down that purple lap. 45.97 is what he ran last time by.
Like Christopher Howell is back on track.
Three wide. Brian King on the high side. Aaron Spear in the middle. Ooh, Kane Lee looked like he bounced off the outside wall a little bit.
Trying to make three wide work.
Three wide is just so rough. Gary Nash, Kane Lee. Yeah, Kane Lee's going backwards in that outside lane. A huge push there from Tyler Burton to the 54 of Dunning.
Looks like everyone's just trying to get a little bit more organized back there.
They're 3 wide for quite a while. Kane Lee finally faded back enough and got down to the bottom side and is in a much better position than he was. '94 back up front.
Like I have a sneaking feeling that Chris Evans is going to set the fresh fastest lap this time by.
Chris Evans.
I thought he was trying to push further forward from the back.
We got Pete Walsh there on the outside too, kind of a couple car lengths away. If he can get that little bit of draft, he is going to be going in the right direction. Wayne Furtick was up towards the front. Now that outside lane is falling back. Osborne back to 11th. Furtick 13th. But inside line just making it work as Boughton, Bailey, Fulton, Carter, and McCall all are moving in the right direction here. And right now, biggest gainers of the race, you have Ryan McCall up 27 spots, Dunning up 20, Applegate 19, Marlowe 16, Brooks 13. So lots of people moving their way towards the front as they're working their way around the track here. 23 laps. And now's the time when you're going to start to think about pit strategy. If I'm not mistaken, we're going to be getting relatively close to the pit cycle here.
Yeah, it looks like everyone came down for at least fuel on the caution.
Yeah,
So I think we're going to start seeing them around lap 35 or so.
Yep. I got to pay attention of who you're around and when you want to kind of work your way towards the inside lane.
Yeah, when you're stuck on the outside line and you decide or you realize that you got to come down the pit road, it might take you a couple laps to get to the bottom lane.
Yeah. I called one race actually on Tuesday, and they ran like 50% fuel or something like that. They were pitting every like 15 laps. It was crazy.
Keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
Green flag pit stops at super speedways certainly make things exciting.
Yeah, that's usually when trouble happens.
Yeah, without fail. It either spreads the field out, and you get a few individual packs trying to figure out how to get to the front, or you get trouble on pit road, and for some people it'll be a race over.
As they come through the tri-oval once again. Boughton's still up front. everybody kind of just hanging out, not making too aggressive moves or anything of that nature right now. We do have a kind of not quite break away of the pack, but we're starting to lose a little bit of time here towards the back of the pack. We got Nash and Evans. I mean, they're still within contact, but they're definitely running a little bit slower than everybody else.
You know, if I'm towards the back of the pack and I've got some friends with me, I feel like I'd want to fuel save a bit so that you can run an extra lap and not need to come down with the whole gaggle of cars.
Yeah, right now from front to basically back here, Anthony Ludi and Pete Walsh are only just under 2 seconds off the pace. So, I mean, not a ton of time here as far as that goes, especially when you're talking super speedway racing. These guys can go from the back to the front pretty quickly.
And when it comes to these pit stops, the fewer cars you have, the harder you can attack pit road entry and pit road exit. So, you know, that 1 second off, 2 seconds off, it may be that it plays out in their favor in the long run.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, trouble. Oh man, I didn't see who it was. It's all the way at the back of the pack.
Anthony Ludi gets spun around backwards.
Is Douglas King involved?
Oh, 16. Douglas King. Back up just a little bit and
I want to jinx it for any of these drivers, but it looks like the damage wasn't too bad, all things considered. I don't think anybody got a meatball out of that.
nose damage here on the 23, but I don't. Douglas King doesn't look too bad.
Got a little bit of left rear damage.
Ludi's off a little bit. Little left front damage, kind of punch that in a little bit. But should be able to come down pit lane and get most of it repaired before any issues. And it looks like you have a couple drivers that overshot their pit box there as we're looking. Looks like Michael Carter drove a little bit too far forward. Aaron Spear as well, but Adam Boughton back up front once again here.
Where you want to be right now. Keeps you out of trouble. Oh, I've seen a black flag for Anthony Ludi. I wonder if he may have sped on pit road.
he's going to have to sit there for a while, as it looks like he might have been too fast entering, so he's going to be back towards the back. I want to thank everybody for joining us in the YouTube chat, as always. We've got Sherry, Hunter, Jenny, Tyler, and Chris. Looks like Bill Fisher also joined in as well. Cheering on Jordan Fisher. Jordan Fisher is one of the new drivers here in the ECR league. Had a pretty good run last week. Well, I guess we still don't know what actually a green flag fuel run's gonna be.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to some green flag stops, but haven't seen them yet. And we know we were getting close that time.
Yeah, it was getting close, and we were gonna see some action on those green flag pit stops, which is always entertaining here at the super speedways to see how fast they can get on and off of pit lane. Looks like Gary Nash is still on pit lane. Douglas King, he just got that number 16 repaired. He spent a minute and a half in his box. It is going to be a lap down. But right now, first car a lap down, so he's in that lucky dog position. So if a caution were to come out, he'd be able to get that lap back pretty quickly here. Only second caution of the night for these drivers.
Yeah, I think there'll be a battle for the lucky dog between Douglas King and Stan Carnathan.
I look back at some of the stats here for the ECR League as they were coming to Daytona. Sam Boutwell won last year's Daytona race. Took it into overtime. The year before that, Ray Lane won, and they went to, looks like, quadruple overtime as they ran 129 laps. And then Ryan McCall won before that. So, several different winners here.
Oh, it looks like we're going to have a three-way battle for the lucky dog spot. The race inside the race.
Pace car in, Boughton with the button as he gets ready to go. And he is down and away. Kristen Bailey's staying right with him. That outside lane did not get going as Fulton looks to try and tuck into the inside. Not enough room, so he's stuck outside as Osborne closes that gap. Looks like he's going to have to wait for McCall to catch up or try and slide down behind Tyler Burton. McCall goes down behind Burton. And now he has Michael Carter closing in.
That bottom line's pushing hard early on.
Yeah, they were set and ready to go. Carter gets a little loose there behind Fulton. That's going to allow the inside line to start to drive away as they are definitely not prepared there. As Tyler Burton pulls to the outside, Ryan McCall goes with him, and they're on their way towards the front. Kristen Bailey slides out in front of his teammates. Slid a little too far up the track, but got back in line, and they are out front now. Inside lane falling back just a little bit here.
3 cars clear. Holy cow. That run off of 2 is real strong.
Yeah, I know they put in the work here. Now they're starting to get jumbled up again as that outside lane starts to battle back. Fulton Carter with a push there from the 96 of Aaron Spear. Nice also there. Boughton back out front. Like we got to jumble towards the back as well here. Guys are 3 wide. Marlowe stuck in the middle.
Sometimes all it takes is a bad bump. Someone wiggles out of line, and suddenly they find themselves in the sucker hole on the outside.
Well, Marlowe's down on the bottom. Miller's in the middle, actually. Adjust here. Still 3 wide. Like Kane Lee just loves to go to that outside lane, just can't get enough as he's falling back now. But up front, Carter and Fulton. Fulton dives down to the inside. Carter's going to take over that outside lane. He has Aaron Spear giving him a shove. The nice right with him. Looks like they were thinking about going down, but that the number 2 there, Derek Fulton, got a push and started to come back towards the front, so that caused the outside lane to stay up. Now that outside lane is spread apart. You get that half a car length gap, and you're just going to go the wrong way in a hurry. Here is Fulton, Bailey, Burden.
The bottom lane just really got their act together.
Five different leaders so far in the race. That 94 ride of Adam Boughton up there. 22 laps led. Now he is back in P10. Osborne, 8 laps led, back in 11th.
3 wide.
Again. Oh, there goes Adam Boughton. Got tired of being there, went to the high side, got in front of Michael Carter, but Carter could not close that gap. Aaron Miller now down on the bottom. As Ryan McCall in front of him. Up 3 wide towards the back there. Looks like right around Tim Hammond. And Hammond goes to the high side. Hammond and Kane Lee keep going to the high line. I think if Hammond and Kane Lee could get together, they would make that outside lane work. They both keep going up there, make a couple spots, and then all of a sudden it's almost like they throw out a parachute here. As there's a big check up there. Dominique's also had to check up, and that also allowed, look like, Kane Lee or Gary Nash to kind of get in the back of him as well. That outside lane was starting to work, and now it is fading back once again. Adam Boughton, Michael Carter in that outside lane. Just can't quite keep up with the inside as Fulton, Bailey, Burden, and McCall.
There's 6 cars clear on the bottom lane.
And when we're talking about drivers checking up, let's just jump on board here with Tyler Burden from the cockpit seat. You can see what they can see, or lack thereof. You can only see basically the rear bumper of the car in front of you. So you don't see those checkups coming like we can see on the TV screen. But you can see how still they're trying to hold that wheel, trying to stay right in line here.
It's just those subtle micro adjustments to keep things right in line and tucked into the slipstream.
With Tyler Burden repping Humanities 101 Foundation. Driver behind him, Ryan McCall, as the race sponsor, Black Bear Pizza Company.
You'll hear them pedaling because they don't want to, when you're third, fourth car back, you actually don't want to necessarily bump the car ahead of you, but you do want to be right up, you know, an inch off their bumper. So they'll dance with the throttle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of people think you just get in the cars and you're foot to the floor the whole time. You don't have to worry about hitting the brakes, doing anything, just kind of move the steering wheel, whatever. No, there's a lot more to it because you do not want to touch the car in front of you. You want to be close, but...
Oh! Trouble in 2. 1 and 2.
Oh,
no.
And it sounds like it's exactly what we were talking about. As the guys came on the radio saying, yeah, that little checkup there.
Chris Evans has a meatball.
Oh.
Yeah, that car's crab walking.
See what happened here with King. Roth checked up. King kind of got to the middle, got a little loose. Pete Walsh touched him. Nash involved. Ludi involved again. Douglas
We were
King
talking
just,
about it earlier. That's when you don't want to burn that early fast repair.
yeah. Looks like Chris Evans gonna have to come to pit lane. Looks like he's got a meatball flag, so he'll have to get that ride repaired.
And I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I don't know if anybody got the lucky dog. Did everybody get involved in that? Anthony Ludi, Evan Stewart, Stan Carnathan. I think those were your lucky dog contenders. Oh, Ludi must have got it.
No, Ludi was involved. He's in pit lane.
Oh, heck.
Evan Stewart, maybe.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
We'll see if he gets to take off and go around here momentarily.
Yeah, I don't know if he actually got the lucky dog or if he's just going for that wave around.
Well, he last pitted on lap 12, so. Oh, yeah. He got the lucky dog.
Oh yeah, and he certainly has to get down pit road this time by for fuel. And for the viewers at home that may not know, in order to be Lucky Dog eligible in iRacing, you must not get any incident points when the caution comes out, even a 0x. So just the slightest contact with any car or the wall, will remove that lucky dog from you.
Yeah, saw that happen last week to a guy. Barely got touched, and that was that.
Yeah, it's pretty rude, right? Of iRacing to do that to you.
Yeah, even if you like try to avoid it and touch the wall or anything, like you're done.
Yeah, if you're bump drafting someone and you get a 0x and you're not involved in the incident at all, you still don't get the lucky dog, which is it's so frustrating when that happens.
I think we have a couple drivers coming back in. Nice. York, Holtzman, King still in. Mueller came back down. We got a ton of action coming up here from the ECR NextGen League. We head to Legacy Atlanta next week. So not super speedway-ish. Then we go to Auto Club. Las Vegas, Texas, Darlington, Rockingham before Easter. And then we have that break off. And then we'll go back to the short track of Iowa, Talladega, Kansas, Homestead, Sonoma, and then Charlotte before our next break. So lots of action going on. These guys put on a heck of a season.
Yeah, it's a solid track list.
Yeah, run all the way from now until I'll say almost November. So we're third caution in and still don't know what a green flag pit stop will look like. So
We're going to end up seeing it with like 5 laps to go, people diving down because they didn't have enough fuel.
that has happened before. Pace car makes that left-hand turn down pit lane. Bailey with the button, and he gets a massive push from his teammate Tyler Burton as they get out to almost a car length lead. Barely enough room for Fulton to slide down behind. He was sitting there pedaling, trying to wait till the last possible second to get down because he knew the 9 and 06 were going to be fast. Aaron Miller also down there, the 21 of Evan Marlowe. Haven't heard that name in a while here as he moves up to the top 5.
Looks like Alan Holtzman and Gary Nash were not yet caught up when we went green, so they're going to have to link up together and try to stay on the lead lap 20 seconds off the field.
Yeah, they're definitely going to want to try and do that here. Tyler Burton trying to maintain that straight wheel here with a new driver behind him and Derek Fulton. Aaron Miller goes down to the inside. Osborne up to the high side, has McCall behind him, along with Dwayne Furtick. The 21 of Marlowe trying to find his place here. Inside, outside, bouncing all over the place in that bottom lane. Looks like the driver's right behind Marlowe.
Yeah, that was almost a disaster.
39 of Fisher and the 69 of Hammond kind of bounced around a little bit there. Marlowe jumps to the high side. Going to see if Osborne goes with him. No, Fisher goes up there with him. Going to give a big bump there. And it looks like Marlowe had a connection issue as he was there and then not.
That's the worst feeling.
Especially if you're the 39 there, Fisher. You see a car in front of you, and then all of a sudden there's nobody in front of you. And what's worse, it almost always seems to happen at super speedways. Like, your connection will be fine at short tracks and all the other places, but you go to a super speedway, you get a few more cars on track, and you're bouncing all over the place. Marlowe's still leading that outside lane in front of John Osborne. Fisher, though, to the point. Dunning behind. Bailey, and then Marlowe's battling back on that outside lane as well. Lee Dunning making that 54 on screen, 45 on the timing. Go towards the front here. To see how close that 45 is getting to that 5th speed forward of Jordan Fisher. Like in the mid-pack here, we're kind of going all over the place. Marlowe got down to the inside. Ryan McCall going to lead the outside, Boughton and Osborne back there side by side.
Holtzman and Nash probably praying that we get a caution for the next 10 laps. Otherwise, they're probably going to get swallowed up by the pack.
Yeah, they're about 30 seconds back of the leader, or of the tail end of the pack. They are 33 seconds back of the leader, so lap times are about 46 seconds, so they have about 10 seconds to hopefully figure it out.
Yeah, they're about 2 seconds off the pace right now, so they got about 5 laps before the field finds them. One thing the lead group could do if they do catch up to them, if they decide not to pass them and leave them on the front and push them and just use them as their fuel save strategy.
Yeah, we've seen that kind of happen before.
Jordan Fisher moves and makes a block, but it does not quite work out. Ryan McCall to the point.
Well, McCall Fisher going back and forth, trying to see who wants to lead this race. McCall playing great defense there. Wrong bad bump, though, from Fisher, and that could end in a massive wreck here with the leaders.
Yeah, there are those moments when you know somebody got a bad bump and somehow they keep the car underneath of them.
That outside lane not gaining too much time yet.
Randy Meeks, that's personal best, 46.05.
Dunning jumped out to the outside. McCall goes up to block. Fisher takes advantage down on the inside, going to go towards the lead. See if he's going to be able to hang on to it here. Waiting on Bailey for a push. We'll see if Bailey's going to help him. spinning in the back is
Oh, no.
Ethan Brooks goes around. Looks like the 16 might have had an issue there. Let's see what happened here. Oh. Take a look here. See if we can see what happened. The 16 is gone.
That's incident limit, unfortunately.
That's okay. That's what I was kind of figuring here.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, 16's had some really bad luck. Seems to have gotten involved in pretty much each caution we've had tonight.
Brooks here just...
So, date done for Douglas King.
I'm not sure what happened to Brooks here. The 29 gives him a little turn. Osborne there as well, but that's what brought out the caution, not the fact that Douglas King there got bumped, hit the outside wall, and that was the end of his race there.
And you know who this was great news for, Mike?
I'm going to say Holtzman and Nash.
Dude, that's who it was great news for. They get a huge break. They get to link back up with the lead group.
So here's a strategy call. Adam Boughton, Aaron Spear stay out.
You know, they're 13 laps into this stint. I don't know. Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate that call. Yeah, they've probably got a solid at least another 15 laps of fuel. Because I think they're, what, about 28?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, somewhere in there, 28 to 30.
Okay, yeah, so...
I mean, 80% fuel.
Yeah, I mean, on that last stint, we went, 12 laps and then a caution, so... Or not even 12 laps in that caution, so I don't think that's a bad call at all. Especially when we're coming to the halfway mark. Maybe they'll peel off and make a green flag pit stop if it comes to that. Trying something different.
I definitely don't hate the idea. I mean, especially the way it's been going right now.
This is what, caution number 4, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah. We'll just bring up the race recap real quick. We're on lap 57 out of 120. Adam Boughton is the leader. 4 cautions for 11 laps, 11 lead changes as well. So,
yeah, Mike, I like that call to stay out. Adam Boughton did a great job of, being that lead car and playing defense on both lines. So, yeah, he did it before. Hopefully he can do it again. And being at the front of the field, from what we've seen, might save you from getting caught up in something.
Tom Osborne, Gary Nash, and Michael York are still on pit lane. Jordan Fisher is going to lead the outside lane. Adam Boughton going to lead the inside.
Yeah. Osborne, your pole sitter, still just leaving pit road right now, still has a lot of damage on that race car. We're just about to come to green. There's no way he's catching the back of the field.
They're spread out quite a bit towards the very back, but I doubt he's going to get there. Definitely will be full throttle by the time he does. Pace car makes that left-hand turn down pit lane. And we are green flag racing here once again at Daytona. Fisher has Boughton behind him with Marlowe.
This might be the first time since the start of the race that we saw both lanes get away together really well.
Yeah, they didn't seem to have any trouble there. Fisher drops down to the inside. Boughton going to lead the outside lane. Marlowe giving him a shove. Dunning back there as well on that outside lane. Some heavy shuffle in mid-pack. Fisher trying to get back to the point.
Ooh, 3 wide and tight right in the middle. Oh man, that was close.
Carter goes to the middle again almost. He's kind of drifting there. Kristen Bailey also kind of drifting up a little bit, trying to get a little bit more pace in there.
Huge wreck.
Burdick hard into that outside wall. Like he got right hooked. And that is done.
Check up on the high line and just, oh man. That's Pete Walsh that disappeared. He hits the incident limit. 74 cars now done for the night.
Yeah, let's go back here. See the checkup kind of happen here. He lets off the throttle. He just gets tapped there from the 45.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, how you can't see what's going on in front of the car in front of you. That's what it looks like when it happens.
Pete Walsh is done. Burdick, Stewart. Burdick has a meatball flag. Looks like Stewart has a black flag. Nice has a flag. Looks like
I think those might have been speeding penalties because they may have wrecked down pit road.
Pete Walsh joined the YouTube chat, said it was fun while it lasted.
I'm glad that Pete had some fun tonight.
I mean, the worst part is it's basically 5 incidents.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, if you get hit 5 times at Daytona, that's kind of the end of your night, so. Now we have basically swapped the pit strategy here. Fisher, King, Nash all stay out. Burden, Marlowe, Bailey, Kane Lee, and everybody else come in.
Looks like Evan Stewart, the only car still with a flag.
That leaves 3 drivers who have called it a night. Not on. I mean, 2 hit
Not necessarily
the
by
incident.
choice.
Yeah, 2 hit the incident limit, but Pete Walsh, Douglas King both hit the incident limit. Christopher Howell probably didn't have that fast repair checked and lost his engine early on here. We're going to get stacked back up. Lap 63, going to be taking the green on laps 64. Holtzman and McCall still on pit lane.
Just getting some extra aero repairs. So it looks like Holtzman still has quite a bit of front end damage. And speaking from experience, if you've got some front end damage, the engine cooling is not quite as up to snuff as it should be. So when you're on these super speedways, having damage on the nose, you could end up losing your engine a lot quicker than you might expect, just from overheating.
Yeah, we've kind of seen that happen just in general. Sometimes with these cars, you'll be sitting there pushing, then all of a sudden, there goes your engine. But over halfway complete here in the ECR Daytona 300 presented by Black Bear Pizza Company. Fisher, Burden are going to lead that outside lane. Brian King down on the inside. Green flags back out. Fisher gets a huge push there from Burden. See if they're going to be able to clear that inside lane and slide down. Looks like they're kind of staying up on the high side. Oh. That would be why. Burden and Bailey hooked back up again. Bailey with a huge push there on Tyler Burden. They go to that outside lane. Going to swap positions. Burden with the lead. Ooh, a little squirrely there out of Burden. Bailey didn't want to give him a bump when those bumpers were offset just a little bit. Fisher has King behind him. Gary Nash making his way up inside that top 10 for the first time all night. Aaron Miller also first time up inside the top 10, up 14 spots.
We're just past halfway.
Burden going to try and defend both the bottom and the top side. Teammates down on the bottom, so not too much trouble with the bottom line. But Fisher with a run on the high line, and he's going to have to go up and try and defend it once again as that side draft is in full effect. Jordan Fisher working it to perfection. Pulls that inside line back just a little bit. See if he can get a little help here from Aaron Miller and Michael Carter behind him. Now Holtzman and Spear and McCall back on track, all a lap down.
Fortunately for Aaron Spear, he is in the pack, whereas McCall all by his lonesome, Alan Holtzman all by himself.
And they're wrecking in front.
Oh, big wreck at the front. Oh,
bad
man.
push. Rubbing off the bumper.
Man. I think we just lost. No, maybe not. Thought we lost one more.
We'll take a look here, but you can see the 06 bumped on the inside. Got him square, then bumped again, then got a run and
that
didn't go all the way out.
I'd be feeling bad about that one. Nobody's ever trying to do that to somebody.
On board here with Aaron Miller just to the outside. I got Tristan, got Carter, Marlowe looks like, Spear, Boughton.
It's like practically everybody got at least a little piece of it. It seems like nobody got away without some contact. Randy Meeks with a meatball on this one. He's sitting on pit road with a very damaged race car.
Yeah, Meeks is sitting there. Miller's on pit lane. Dominic's also on pit lane. Everybody going to come down pit lane though now. Once again.
Ryan McCall is going to stay out. Go get a lap back.
Yeah, he last pitted on lap 61, so not a terrible idea. I mean, he came down pit road on lap 61, spent over 3 minutes in his pit, got that thing fixed. Caution came out at just the right time. He's going to get the wave around, get his lap back. So, all in all, not too bad. I mean, he's going to be, well, seven laps older tires, basically, so should be good to go for that number 90 Black Bear Pizza
Tires
Company.
at Daytona. Come on, Mike.
Come on, who needs tires? Yeah, no. Definitely has it full of fuel. Speaking of tires, looks like part of the field either had extra time spent repairs or took 4 tires. Just saying.
I mean, now, all right, now is the time to take tires if you haven't done it yet. Going on 70 laps in, we're past the halfway point. But yeah, Daytona tires tend to last pretty well.
I mean, unless you're sliding all over the track.
Yeah,
Wrecking.
yeah, you got bigger problems if you're sliding on the track.
Aaron Spear? Looks like Aaron Spear stayed out. Oh, McCall got the lucky dog is what happened. I guess he was one of the only drivers.
Pit road.
I'd say one of the only drivers not in anywhere close to the field there, so couldn't get
Yeah, he was
involved.
about 40 seconds behind the field. Almost about to be swallowed up and lapped again. Randy Meeks still has that meatball, so I'm not sure how much repair time he's got, but he's been on pit road for 4.5 minutes now.
Yeah, all those drivers who are on pit lane have been there for quite a while. Ethan Brooks on his way out, spent over 3 minutes in his box. Dominic Miller also there for over 4 now.
Miller's got heavy damage. But I think Randy Meeks is the only one who is required to be in his pit stall right now.
Go on board with Tyler Burden as we get ready for this restart. Green flag out, and we are down and away.
Always got to be careful on those restarts not to upset race control coming down to the bottom lane too soon.
Yeah, you have to sit there and wait just enough to get down there. Burdick in the outside lane with Kane Lee. Burton and Carter down on the bottom. Marlowe there as well. Burton going up to the high side to block Marlowe, or maybe catch Marlowe, as Marlowe is a teammate.
About finding your friends, Mike.
Yeah, Michael Carter and Dunning down on the bottom. Like Dwayne Furtick has found Kane Lee. Marlowe trying to give Burden a couple bumps there.
Oh, man. The 3 cars on Bob stuck together tight, and it can get really dicey going into the going into the corners like that.
Yeah, you almost want to let them kind of drive away in the corners. But they are staying tucked together here. Carter, Dunning, Fulton.
I mean, I felt it firsthand. Some of the time, you don't even have to be touching the car just, you can upset the aero enough that it starts to maybe drift up a lane, and when you got cars on the outside of you, that can be all it takes.
On board here with Dunning. Side drafted by the 06. Gives a push there to Carter. Bump again. You see just how close he is riding here. The 06 getting a fairly good side draft, and Marlowe back up, giving him a shove. Marlowe slides up to the outside. That's going to slow down that outside line again, allow the inside to take back the lead. And then back again comes Marlowe. If Marlowe can stay behind the 06, they seem to be relatively quick. They just keep getting disconnected and allowing that inside line to battle back here.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a few laps after a restart to settle back into a rhythm with whoever your drafting partner may be.
Marlowe and Burden slide down to the inside. Gonna leave Furtick up on the high line. He has Kane Lee with him. It looks like John Osborne's back up towards the front as well. Osborne's been going forward and backwards multiple times now.
Yeah, good for him to be back up there, because his race has not been without some drama.
Big movers inside the top 10.
So we're gonna catch a lap car right here.
Oh man, stay up outside. Almost caught him in the right spot there.
Yeah, and that pace difference is just huge when you catch one car by themselves.
It looks like they not quite. As Ethan Brooks, and he did not quite catch the draft. That's one thing. If you are a lap car and you see that draft coming, you get out to the outside, let him go by, and try and get right behind him so you don't lose that draft. It'll keep you hopefully battling for that lucky dog spot. He is just behind there. Looks like Alan Holtzman is the lucky dog at the moment.
Yeah, these Gen 7 cars, Mike, they're brutal when you're on your own. If you fall off the draft by a second, if you're off the pack, there's no help.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you're gonna get another lap car coming up.
Marlowe got down below that yellow line, going to lose some ground there as the outside line goes to the front. As a 45 of Dominic's out in the high line, staying up in the wall. Jamie Lee Dunning to the front, Dwayne Furtick and Kane Lee staying right there. As these guys has kind of settled down a little bit, we'll step aside for a moment. You won't miss anything. We'll go side by side. We'll get these guys some bills paid here, and we'll be back to bring you the conclusion of the ECR Daytona 300 here momentarily.
Premier Racing Setups is the longest running setup shop on iRacing. Our monthly subscription options start as low as $20 a month. We offer setups for dirt oval, asphalt oval, and road racing, covering a wide range of cars and skill levels. Built and tested by top-tier sim racers, this isn't just a business, it's a community of competitive drivers. If you want to better your iRacing experience, head over to PremierRacingSetups.com today. And remember, if you don't get one, you're going to chase one.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Didn't miss anything as we were side by side there. Lots of back and forth action up front. Tyler Burton still leading the race. Evan Marlowe in second. Dunning, Furtick, and Roth. Oh, now Kane Lee make up the top five.
Mike, we've been green for a little while. I don't want to jinx it, but I think maybe we're going to see one of my favorite things tonight. It looks like we are about 17 laps since everybody last pit.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's going to be a talk somewhere around 95 to 100. And Christopher Roth up in that outside lane, up to 7th. Haven't heard him all night. Usually towards the back of the pack, works his way to the front. Seems like towards the end of the race, Michael Carter sliding up in front of him. If Carter can get that outside lane to work. He was kind of stuck going nowhere in the bottom lane. Jumped up to the high line in front of Christopher Roth. And hasn't made any ground here. Still stuck just outside of Derek Fulton. John Osborne trying to make his way back towards the front. That number 11 machine has been quick all night. And Furtick sliding down to the inside.
Yeah, Mike, we were talking right before the break about catching lap traffic, and if those lap cars can catch the draft, it's really important. And Alan Holtzman did catch the draft, and he's in the middle of the field somewhere in the lucky dog spot. In what I must say is a wonderful, wonderful paint scheme, as they're about to catch 2 more lap cars.
It looks like Tim Hammond and Anthony Ludi are just out in front of these drivers. Catching Ethan Brooks again. I just passed Tim Hammond. Definitely more of a problem if you're in that outside lane, is you kind of have to get a little close and try and get down as close as you can to that inside line without touching there.
Yeah, it looks like Ludi's catching the draft right now. Oh, sorry, not Ludi. Hammond.
Yeah, it looks like Hammond caught that outside lane, slid in right behind. Looks like Jonathan Dominic's out there. Boughton goes to the high side, was going to try and make a pass, but got left high and dry all by himself. Fisher closes that gap, and Fisher giving a shove there to Christopher Ross, going to see if he can make that outside line move. Boughton is lost and goes down clear to the back there, and Fisher gave up, giving a push there to Roth, slides down behind Brian King. He's going to try and get around the 62 and see if he can get with Michael Carter. Starting lap 90 here. First 8 now are single filed.
Oh,
Gary Nash.
Oh, that bumper, what a save.
Gary Nash gets bumped, sent down through the backstretch there, able to get that 88 machine back under him.
Yeah, to keep with the draft after that is something to brag about right there.
Yeah, Fisher trying everything to get a line to move. So you've got the 37 of Evan Stewart, teammates there, going to the middle, going to the high side, get in front of Michael Carter, and now they're going to try and get that outside line to move towards the front after basically pedaling in place for the last few laps, not really going anywhere. Even when they jumped to that outside line, nobody went with them, and now there are 5 cars only in that outside lane. iRacing trying to make that outside line work. Aeon's up front.
Forgive me for my absence. My iRacing, my eye in the sky rudely crashed on me.
Well, it looks like right now we've got Christopher Howell, Douglas King, Pete Walsh, Chris Evans, Randy Meeks, Aaron Miller, and Grant Applegate all called it a night early tonight. Fisher still trying to get that outside lane to work, trying to side draft off the 11 of Osborne. Pete Walsh.
Great to see Osborne back up in there. He got collected. I think he was involved in 2 separate incidents that had him well off the pace for a while.
That's Ellen Holtzman there, sliding up, kind of slowing that outside line down a little bit. Gunning jumps out to the outside lane, right in front of Fisher. Another newcomer to the league. Gunning, Fisher, and Stewart in that outside lane. Burden and Marlowe, Burdick, and Lee.
Yeah, I think it's happening, Mike. I think as we're working lap 94, we got 4 cars peeling off in the back, coming down pit road for green flag stops.
I had a feeling that was going to happen as soon as we saw the 94.
Oh, there's one's turning around.
Down pit lane. That's going to be a probably black flag, I'd imagine, for Doug Denise.
As long as he didn't cross the cones over the speed limit, it shouldn't be a black. But it looks like Ethan Brooks has a black. So Ethan Brooks caught speeding. Or maybe tagged the cone on the way in.
So 2 different strategies playing out here. Gunning, Fisher, Stewart to the lead. Well, we know everybody can make it to the end from here. It's all a matter of, do you pit early, do you pit late?
I think we're going to see the whole field come down here, Mike. It's lap 96, like you were saying, lap 95 to 100, we'll see them coming in. It's about half the field right there.
Yep, Fisher, Dunning, Burden, Osborne, Lee, King, Stewart, McCall all come in. Carter stays out. Roth stays out. All the drivers from Revolution Motorsports came down.
Lap. Oh man,
Christopher Roth.
Oh no!
I don't know if he just forgot what was going on, or was a late call there.
I have a feeling he couldn't get it woed down and had to abandon.
It's the team name, I guess, Gone Wrong Racing, but that is not something you want to do, because now you are all by yourself no matter what. So the battle on track here. Dunning, Fisher, Stewart, all still together.
Carter and Fulton are in. Christopher Roth is in.
Haley trying to hang on to the tail end. Don't think he's going to have enough speed to do it, as everybody else was up to speed. Looking back, though, at Revolution Motorsports, they pitted on lap 94, and they are back in 17th place. So took a little bit of a gamble, pitted earlier, but I don't know that it's going to help them here at the end. Boughton and Carter coming off of pit lane. Dunning going to be able to get up to speed and blow right on by them here as they're coming off of pit lane. It looks like Bailey might have been able to get just enough of that draft.
Just hanging on.
And he's got it now. So now it's going to be a 4-horse race here with 22 laps to go.
I almost wonder if those 3 lead cars said, "Hey, let's wait up just a second," because 4 cars are stronger than 3.
Yeah, you do have this big pack back here coming. Marlowe, McCall, Burden, King, Furtick, King Lee. They are almost 2.5 seconds back. They're running a couple miles an hour faster, though, so.
And Holtzman, awesome drive to still be on the lead lap. I mean, they're in the 3-car pack further back, but it sounds like Holtzman is coming in. But he still has to
Lap
pit.
67 still has to pit.
Yeah, I hadn't looked at the pit lap when I said he was hanging on.
Gap is almost stabilized. And it's closing ever so slightly. Marlowe and them might be able to catch them. Marlowe, McCall, Burden. They are trying.
Yeah, they certainly can. I mean, they've got the strength in numbers.
Maybe 18 to
If
go
that
before he
lead group
hits the stripe.
can get stacked up 5 deep, maybe they can maintain that gap, but I don't think it's going to happen. That gap back is really stable at right around 2 seconds. I think it's starting to shrink now.
Yeah, they start to shrink it, and then all of a sudden it just goes back again. I don't know if they need to swap who leads, but they're fairly well lined up.
They're organized now. I think, yeah, they're reeling them in. There's no doubt about it. They just pulled a 10th out of them.
Yeah, this front group needs to get lined up and just go where they're going to get passed in a hurry here, depending on when the pack catches them.
I have a sneaky suspicion. I can't tell who that 5th car is with this group, but I think they are not trying to help that lead group. I think they might have a teammate in the second pack.
Call is just all over that bumper there.
Gap down to 1.37. They're going to be on the draft of that lead paddock in about 3/10.
Yeah, they're going to catch him here in no time.
And when they do, they might run right by him on the outside.
Yeah, it looks like Hammond is just kind of hanging out on the high side, not really doing anything.
Or doing a teammate a favor.
Now they're all back in line though.
Yeah, but here's the run from the top side of the second group.
Bailey slides out in front of his teammate Evan Marlowe. That's going to slow down that inside line. See if they're going to try and come up and block, and they try to almost send Bailey into the wall. Fisher now goes to the high side. Dunning down on the bottom. Bailey says, I've had enough of this. I'm going 3 wide. Puts Fisher in the middle. And Aeons working together in that outside lane are back up front.
Mike, that last lap by, we saw 8 personal best lap times. So from that second group catching the lead group, they were reeling them in a hurry.
Bailey, Marlowe, McCall, and Burden, Aeons. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, Fisher. Almost a bad bump there to Burden. Bailey slides down to the bottom side, gonna try and control the race from down there.
Yeah, that was a big move from Bailey.
Aeons were going to be leading both inside and outside laps, but as soon as he did that, that outside lane went back in a hurry. They are now sitting even for 5th with Brian King. Evan Stewart goes to the outside. Has Hammond with him. Oh, 3 wide. Bailey in the middle. Stewart into that outside wall.
Like Bailey made a move to the top, and it was a little bit late as the top line had a big run.
Got lap cars mixed in with them here. As the Nice and Hammond both second row. Brian King pushing Hammond out front. Going to try and take the lead as the pusher here. Gliding all over the track, though. Not maintaining a steady wheel as Hammond gets a little closer to Bailey. Bailey takes a little bit of aggressive action, goes down to the bottom. Bailey, Dunning, and Denise.
For perspective, Hammond 2 laps down right now at the front of this thing, trying to get a wave around because he's not even eligible for the lucky dog.
Had Denise on the bottom side. Is in the lucky dog position right at the moment, running 3rd in the bottom lane. You have Marlowe, McCall, Fisher, and Burden up on the high side. Looks like Fisher went down to the bottom.
Hammond moves down to the bottom, but a little bit too far out in front.
Bailey Dunning go around.
Bailey wants nothing to do with helping Hammond right now.
Well, he had enough of Hammond's help and kind of helped that other pack catch up. Brian King leading that outside lane. Marlowe trying to find somewhere to go, thinking about pushing it 3 wide. He does. Goes 3 wide, leaves Brian King in the middle. King goes down to the bottom. Fisher jumps up to the high side, right outside of Denise.
Mike, we've only got 10 laps to go.
I'm saying 9 laps to go right now, as they just completed it.
This thing suddenly clicked off in a hurry. I didn't realize how fast the laps are coming off.
Well, they are moving quick, fast, and in a hurry as Hammond gives a shove there to Dunning. Dunning right to the rear bumper of Bailey. That outside lane is being led by a lapped car of the 40. Fisher goes high. Marlowe goes with him. They try and go by.
Too wide for the back.
Nice.
They're falling. They're falling off the pace up there.
They're 3-4 wide. Nothing really doing there in that outside lane. They're going to have to go back and gather it in. And the next group is starting to close in a little bit, but not a lot here, as they are still 8 seconds off of this group's pace here, with only 8 laps to go, soon to be 7 when we get to the stripe. Kristen.
Oh, trouble. Oh, he might stay green.
Marlowe keeping it going.
It'll stay green if Marlowe's off the racing surface.
Off the racing surface, going to make it down pit lane. 21, not what he wanted to see there.
Oh, and looks like Ryan McCall got a meatball.
He was involved there too. Up front, still Bailey Dunning on the inside lane. Brian King leading the outside pack as far as on the scoring pylon, but Tim Hammond's was leading the outside pack.
Oh no! With Brian King hard into the outside wall.
And I know what's going to come up on the radio. I'm sure you do too.
Brian King. Oh, that wasn't Brian King, was it?
Brian King racing with the 2-lap down Tim Hammond was down to the bottom. It's loose on the apron and goes up in front of Michael Carter.
And funny enough, Brian King did not get a meatball, so he with that impact, I thought for sure he was going to lose that engine.
Let's go take a look here at a different incident. See what happened to Ryan there, but
Yeah, a little further back, I suppose. I think it was technically the last lap. Oh, there you go.
there we go. Take a look here. See Marlowe up in front of McCall. Burden there as well. back stretch.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh no. That's too bad.
Yeah, not good there.
And the theme of the night, Mike, has been missing your pit box.
Yeah, we just saw that again.
I think everyone's done it.
And Brian King tried to make the move down to the inside, went too far, got on the apron, tried to come back up, lost all grip with his rear tires, and wound up spinning in front of the field.
These cars are really, they're really snap happy. I think that independent rear suspension, when it starts to kick right, it's really hard to stop it.
Yeah, that and that the updated steering there. Rack and pinion. You can't catch it the way you used to be able to either. So.
Yeah, right. So, Mike, as we wind down towards the end of this, who are you liking right now?
I think if I had to pick, I don't know. Jordan Fisher's been running fairly well. Seems to find the pace at the right time. Osborne's been quick all night.
Yeah, that's who I've got my eye on Osborne right now.
And Bailey and Dunning have been working well together, but not teammates or anything. The only real teammates are going to be Furtick and Osborne and Kane Lee. They're 5th, 6th, and 7th right now. So. And the car in the outside lane is the biggest mover of the race right now, up 24 spots.
Nothing to be ashamed of.
Looks like Michael Carter called it a night as well after getting damaged there. But Bailey's going to have the button when we get going here. And it looks like it's going to be a green-white checker finish here.
Looks like anybody in the top 18 are on the lead lap. So any of those cars are in contention.
Yeah, pace car makes that left-hand turn. Hopefully for the last time, we are going green here from Daytona. Dunning with a huge jump on that outside lane. Bailey not able to get going. And he is not happy at the moment being the control car and getting beat to the start-finish line by over a car length. Dunning, Fisher, Bailey Osborne in the outside lane has Kane Lee behind him. Boughton also down on the bottom side. Kane Lee goes clear up to the wall. Verdict pulls out. White flags in the air. Last lap here from Daytona.
Oh, and they're wrecking behind.
Dunning, Fisher, Burdick, Bailey, everybody together, everybody bumping and banging down the backstretch for the final time. Dunning, Fisher, Furtick, Kane Lee. Dunning goes to the bottom. Furtick tries to get by. Even Dorr has a little help there from the 91 of Kane Lee. Fisher giving a shove there to Dunning. Out of turn number 4.
Oh, no.
We are
Big
wrecking
trouble.
everywhere behind them. Dunning, Fisher, Bailey. Dunning's going to get the win. Bailey second. Fisher rounds out the podium. And we have a disaster to look at.
That was quite a wreck further back.
Let's see here. Wow, it didn't even show it on here. We'll see what happened here on the crash coming. Oh. Marlowe spinning.
And a lot of people ended up coming down pit road on that wreck.
Yeah. Dunning, Bailey, and Fisher. Let's see here.
Looks like we got Jordan Fisher.
I'll let you talk to Jordan. Let me bring him.
Hello, Jordan Fisher. This is Mike and Colin in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, got a copy, sir.
Well, that was a wild finish. And take us through what happened there on that green, white, checkered.
I mean, Jamie got a really good restart there, and I just kind of followed suit with there. I was planning on working with Jamie. I know Jamie from other leagues, so, you know, he was really, really well working with out there. So we were able to get up there in the front, and then I'm not too sure what happened out of 4. I was just kind of pushing Jamie in the bottom there, and all of a sudden they all started wrecking behind me. So I apologize if I did cause anything there, but regardless, I'm happy for Jamie. Congrats, Jamie, on that win, and Tristan for a good run there in P2. So yeah, it was a good run.
I mean, from my perspective, it looked like real hard racing at the end there. I don't know that anyone was necessarily to blame, but it was a great drive from you. And does anybody want to shout out or give a thanks to for getting you here tonight?
Yeah, I want to thank all my friends and family watching. I know I got a lot of people watching, so thanks everybody watching. Hopefully put a good show. I did still finish this car with 2 minutes of repairs, so to still get P3 was somewhat of a miracle, just to somewhat survive out of this race. You know, we'll take it as for the start of the season. So I want to thank Fish Speed Brakes, been repping this livery along with Evan Stewart and Grant Applegate. So it's just about server, about posting all the brake bias for the NextGen fix and the mass cylinder. So a lot of great people in there. More than welcome for anybody to join. Thank you guys for broadcasting. The admin team putting on this great race for the season opener, and everybody watching. Thanks, guys.
Of course, congratulations on P3.
Thank you. Free the fish.
All right. That. Tristan down here. Hey, Tristan, Mike up in the broadcast booth. How's it going?
It's all right. How's it going?
Well, not too bad. Well, I thought early in the race you might have kind of lost your chance at a podium spot, but green flag pit stops and everything cycled through, and you were able to cycle in the right spot. Wound up battling there up until that last caution. How was your race overall?
It was all right. It seems like it's more of a strategy game now to try to stay in the front at these plate tracks because the draft package is just, I don't know where it went. It's terrible in these cars, but it's more a track position game now than it ever has been. So I was just trying to stay in the front, and whenever I got wrecked in that one wreck, I had a couple minutes worth of damage. So I fell to the back, and I was playing around with it, and it felt fine in the draft. I had a little bit of wheel damage, but it felt great in the draft. And then when we did that green flag pit stop, I just checked my fast repair and fueled up and took off. And like I said, I found myself behind those guys. I'm like, where'd everybody else go? But then I had my teammates come from the back of the with the other pack, and we kind of pushed each other, got each other in the lead there, and we was chilling, just riding, and then we came to this.
Yeah, you get that green-white checker finish. Make the white flag, everybody starts wrecking, and then you find your way basically as one of the only cars up front. Kind of walk us through that last little bit before the wreck.
The wreck in 3 and 4.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like the 39 jumped the restart and the 54 there, but I guess see what admin say about it. I don't know. I just kind of kept on the bottom and was just hoping. Once I got down in front of me, I'm like, well, I guess there's no lifting here, so I'm just gonna keep it mashed and hope for the best. And that's what I did. And Jordan tried passing Jamie on the outside, going to the start finish line. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna pick the bottom and stick with that car. At least I can make up one position. I can't make up any more than that.
That definitely looked like you had at least a good result here at Daytona for defending your championship from last year. Anybody want to thank before we get you out of here tonight, Tristan?
Just Eons, and if my parents are watching, thank y'all for watching, and you guys for broadcasting, and Adam for putting all this together.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats once again on a P2, and we'll see what you can do next week.
Thank you, man.
All right, I will let you, Colin, take our winning driver.
Jamie Lee Dunning. This is Mike and Colin in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, guys. How are you doing tonight?
Doing well. Congratulations on the win. And can you take us through those last few laps and what you did to get here tonight?
I was trying to keep the car clean all night. So that was the main goal for me, was keeping my front end clean the whole entire race. When that last restart came out, I was kind of bummed because I was going to be happy with just sitting behind Tristan the whole entire time and then trying to make a pass on the last corner to get around him. Fortunately, that didn't happen. I worked with Jordan Fisher, on iRacing, so I got lucky with having somebody behind me that I know and that I could trust pushing me, and that led me to the win.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on it. It looked like a really strong drive the whole race. And is there anybody that you want to give thanks or shout out to for getting you here tonight?
I want to thank my teammates from Keystone Motorsports Group, Chris Howell, Chris Evans, and Jonathan Dominics for their, working with me throughout the race when we did. Also, I'd like to thank TCSP, Team Conti, for their setups through the official racing. It's great to be competitive on official racing, and Fish Speed for assisting with brake bias performances and stuff like that, because those guys helped me out tremendously.
Excellent. Congratulations on your win, and look forward to seeing you out here next week.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
Well, that will do it for the interviews. Tristan brought up that he's going to see what happens with the last green flag restart, so results may change after the appeals there, but right now, here are the race results. Got Dunning, Bailey, Fisher, Boughton, York up there in the top 5. Dwayne Furtick, Gary Nash, Brian King, Doug Denice, Kane Lee, Evan Marlowe, Ryan McCall, Aaron Spear, Derek Fulton, and Stan Carr-Nathan. Tim Hammond, Kent Mueller, Christopher Roth, John Osborne, Alan Holtzman, Anthony Ludi, Tyler Burden, Michael Carter, Evan Stewart, Ethan Brooks, the top 25. Jonathan Dominiques, Grant Applegate, called it at night early, Aaron Miller, Randy Meeks, Chris Evans, Pete Walsh, Douglas King, and Christopher Howell round out the field. So anything you want to say before we get out of here tonight, Colin?
Just a tremendous race from everybody, and I'm pretty stoked that we got to see those green flag pit stops shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely glad we got to see a little green flag pit stop action. These guys put on a heck of a show here from Daytona. Next week, we do pack it up, head a little further north to Atlanta Motor Speedway as these guys go legacy racing, which will be a little bit of a change of pace. Has had some great action here in the ECR League. But with that being said, from all the drivers of the ECR Next Gen Cup Series and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, I want to wish you guys a good night. We'll see you next week.